Shout out to Satoshi's Ball by JustLearnCrypto.com in Ottawa, December 15th. Monarch Token of Monarch Wallet, StrokenTokens.com, Bitcoin Energy, and Bitbacker.io. Hey, how goes it? Ken Bozak here to talk about Bitcoin and Bitcoin accessories. And today I'm here with my bro Matt, co-founder of Steem Monsters. How goes it, bro?
Hey, it's great. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming by. I wanted to do a quick shout out real fast about my Bitcoin accessories I just got in the mail today. I got some HODL Fuel coffee. These are the K-Cups, and this is the regular, grounded coffee. So that's really cool. I have some novelty coffee right now by HODL Fuel. And big shout out to Bitcoin Ben. So if you guys want to support this man, go over and head over to his Patreon and support Bitcoin Ben, guys. And support those HODL Fuels. Matt, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, let everybody know who you are, what you do in this space, kind of how you got into it, and then we'll jump a little bit into Steem Monsters.
Yeah, sure. So my name's Matt. I live, in the Philadelphia area, right near Ken.
215.
Yeah, and I've been a developer I started learning how to program computers when I was like around 10 years old, just because I wanted to make my own video games. And so, I went to college for computer science, graduated, did a bunch of, non-gaming related crap like financial applications, whatever. Then I got into gaming. I did, some mobile games. I did Facebook games when that was a thing, working for other companies.
Yeah, there was the one with the dog with the two heads or whatever. They were making like every Facebook game my mom played. What was that?
Well, there was Zynga. I think
Zynga,
it was a one-headed dog, but
oh, was it? It was like a weird icon. I just remember. I never really played the Facebook games. I was more of a console gamer than I was like into that. But like there was a real interesting thing that happened with those kinds of games because it intertwined social media and gaming, and that's not something that's really been done before.
Yeah, so that was huge, and I worked for another company that was not as big as Zynga making those games, and they did quite well for a while there. And it's still it's a lot bigger than people realize now. But yeah, so I did mobile games kind of when that was a thing. And then so as soon as I kind of learned about digital assets and what you could do with all that stuff, like beyond just the Bitcoin use case and what Ethereum was doing and all that, I was like, I got to make a trading card game on the blockchain, because I loved Magic the Gathering when I was a kid. I played Hearthstone a lot. I played other games, Clash Royale and things like that.
Yeah, I got some random cards and stuff like from walking around the conferences from Mount Gox and those kinds of things. There was a thing that was giving out Magic the Gathering cards that was a Mount Gox collection. That was really cool. But I'm sorry, cool. Yeah, sorry as I digressed.
Maybe they can pay those out, to the people instead of selling the Bitcoin. Here's your card. Once I got into cryptocurrency and stuff, I was like, I got to do a trading card game. Because when I played all those other games like Hearthstone and whatnot, I spent a bunch of money, and all the cards that I had, they're just sitting in my account. I can never trade them or sell them or anything. So that's all just sunk. And it wasn't an investment. It was just directly paying to play the game, which is fine. Right. But there was just such a Magic the Gathering it was such a different element because your cards are like an investment, So and it's just huge, and there's markets for them and all that stuff. So I was like, the blockchain and digital assets gives you a way to do that. The same thing as like physical Magic cards, but digitally. So yeah, this was well over a year ago when I initially wanted to do this, and I got like some funding together, and I tried to like even potentially build my own blockchain to do it. That was my plan at the time
But you decided on Steem's blockchain, right? Out of like all of them, and I was going to kind of cover that because there's so many options to build on for something like this, and it was really, in my opinion, from seeing a lot of the people go in this space, it was an original and unique direction to go on top of something like Steem it and really build on top of a social networking blockchain with the game. And I don't know, like what inspired you to go that route rather than the other ways, like people are building on EOS or Ethereum, stuff like that?
Yeah, so So like I said, I wanted initially to build my own blockchain for it, but that was just not happening. I mean, there's few developers who can do that, and they were hard to find, and it just wasn't happening. So I kind of gave up on it for a while. And then, aside from that, I got very involved with Steem. I really liked the platform. I got involved in it. I did some other projects that were not game related. So eventually, when I ended up partnering with Agrode, who's another Steem top witness. He was like, let's just do it on Steem. And at the time, I didn't really think that was a good idea, because it doesn't have smart contracts. It was I thought it was sort of compromising and whatever. And EOS also wasn't live at the time, but I certainly knew about it at that point. So eventually I was like, fine, we'll do it on Steem. And at this point, now that I realize that you don't necessarily need a smart contracts platform to do all this stuff. I mean,
Right, exactly.
there's a lot of things building on top of Bitcoin and whatever. It's not that they are building smart contracts on the Bitcoin platform. All you need is a public, distributed ledger, immutable ledger to hold all the data. And then you can just create your own protocol on that data. So, you can publish something to the Bitcoin blockchain that means something else to you, to people that are using your protocol. And sure, the blockchain's not gonna it's not going to validate that, and someone could publish something that's incorrect, but anyone running your software would just ignore those transactions. So we've termed it soft consensus, but whatever you want to call it, it works well. And it has a lot of advantages also, like it's a lot easier to fix if we have a bug in our software than, say, an Ethereum smart contract.
Yeah, and it's not like you're, I mean, maybe eventually they will become more expensive, but it's not like you're holding, like you said, these important smart contracts that could be dealing with tens of millions of dollars that may need something like maybe whatever more flexible smart contracts and stuff like that. But I don't see why this would be considered like rocket science on the blockchain. You could, like you said, use something that's already existent, build on top of it. And Steem's really powerful. I think it's very underrated as far as the blockchain goes. And everybody's like, when's this killer app going to come out? And I'm like, well, I think it's out. I think Steem it may be one of those killer apps, or is a killer app that is just not recognized yet, because it's still sort of cumbersome. I still have friends that want to play Steam Monsters with me, and they're like, I've been waiting to get my account verified for a while. I'm like, you're right, it's still a little cumbersome, but when do you think it'll get to that ease of use, easier on rampings into this? Because like it's really cool with the Steam Monsters, you get like the promo code on here, and you can kind of set up with like a profile, and you can kind of like skip past that a little bit, right?
Yeah, I mean, so the advantage that we have is unless you have a promo card, you pay for it, right? We're selling
Right.
an actual product that you're spending money for. So I mean, the reason why it's difficult to get an account created is because they cost money, right? So if Steemit has to, do their validation process to make sure people aren't taking advantage of that. We avoid that whole thing. If you pay for it, you get an account, right? That instantly, right away. No waiting or anything. And it should be pretty simple. I mean, you just put in the name you want if it's available. It gives you a password, and you're all set. So I mean, a huge part of what we're doing is just trying to make this a very simple, easy process. Like, you don't have to know about cryptocurrency. You don't have to do whatever. It's $10 to buy a starter pack. You get your account, and you're all in. Or you get a promo card from Ken, and you're in for free.
Well, I got my friends that came to our meetup not too long ago. They got into it, and they were never into crypto before, and it was their first crypto meetup. And you gave them one of the Steam Monster cards, and we've just been bragging about how many win losses we've had throughout the time. And it's really cool that they're kind of getting into cryptocurrencies without worrying about money, the monetary aspect of it, right? Like, oh, is it $5? It's volatile. Now it's only worth $3. Like, no, they understand that they can send each other. We can all trade cards, we can buy and sell them. I think it's really cool how like it works with what was the when you go to buy a card, it goes through the coin Steem something where it instantly buys and sells through your Steam dollars and Steam power.
When you buy the packs.
Yeah, or individual cards. I forget what it was called. Crap, I do it all the time too. When you automatically use the third-party spending for Steam, like it just does like a pull from my Steam wallet to buy something on Steam Monsters.
You mean like the Steam Connect or something?
Steam Connect, thank you.
Yeah.
I do not know why I was blanking on that. I use it all of the time. But like, it was really cool to show them that they have some Steam on Steam It, and if they wanted to buy a card or whatever, they just hit buy, yeah, Steam Connect, and it just does a pull, and it's like really convenient because Steam backed dollars, they're not really volatile. It's convenient, and I don't know, it's just a great way to kind of on-ramp people into crypto without them really worrying about losing money or making money. Just use the technology, right? Like the underlying technology, use it and kind of get the understanding of how it works, and then imagine the internet of money, you know, if these things were to be, and it's really cool, like, concept. What are some of the conversations you have with some of the people that you kind of like drop this on that don't know about crypto? They just care about the gaming side, right? Because that's like what this is. It's a game. So people don't really have to care or know about crypto or Steam or Steam It or any of these things to really play the game and have fun. So like, do they ask you any unique questions, or do you have any like unique conversation with people when you're trying to on-ramp them after they get interested in the crypto side of it and how it works on the blockchain?
Yeah, so that's like the coolest thing is I think there's a lot of people who are like, everyone knows about crypto, even if they're not into it, they've heard of it at this point. So and most of the people, especially people who are into these kind of games, they like think it's interesting and they like it, but they just don't have the time or willingness to get into it. So it's really neat that this is a way they can just go play this game and then they're in, right? They're getting assets on a blockchain. They can sell it for cryptocurrency. You know, they can exchange that for other cryptocurrencies if they want. So it's like a really cool way to get people in. I have a few people that just, you know, and you know, big thing is that you can pay with PayPal, right? And you can use US dollars.
I saw that. That was really cool.
That's a huge thing for us, huge. And I think we're one of the only ones that do it. And so, like, I have a friend
I play a few games, man. At least 7, 8 different blockchain games, and yeah, nobody right now that I know of. Eventually, I think Hedgie might. I think that was something they were talking about in my interview with them at Token Fest. But I'm not sure if they do it right now. But yeah, right now I think you are, and it's really cool because Coinbase just partnered up a little bit with PayPal there for free transactions. So now people could use Coinbase to PayPal to Steam Monsters, and these are all avenues that they're familiar with. These aren't like, you know, foreign, you know, uses of money for them.
Yeah, so it's just a great way. Like, I have a few friends that are totally not into crypto, but they just put in their credit card, they buy cards, and they're playing and they like it. And the other big advantage that, you know, over other digital games is that since you own the cards, it's more like an investment. You're not as much spending money. It's sort of like you're buying Bitcoin. It's just another.
Did they get into the private key aspect and stuff like that, and like how these individual tokens are recognized on blockchains?
I mean, they don't definitely understand all those details, but what they do understand is that they're investing in these things, right? Like, these things have value; they can be sold and traded. And people like that have experience with Magic the Gathering, that they might have their old cards and they see that they can sell them. You know, you go to Comic Cons and people are selling Magic cards for like a whole bunch of money. So it's the same concept here, which you had previously lost on digital games. So it's kind of cool. It's like, oh, you want to invest in Bitcoin? Well, okay, if you have Bitcoin, it just kind of sits there for the most part. You know, I mean, you probably use it a lot more than the average person. They just have it and it sits there. But I sort of look at it as a cryptocurrency you can invest in that you can also play a game with.
Right. People get bored with games that don't really have a way to interact with other users or to build communities in the games. And we've seen it really, right? One of the most popular was Pokemon Go. This little controversial guy right here. Everybody can collect these Pokemon, but they couldn't trade them with their friends. They could send them to Professor Oak for candies and upgrade their Pokemon. It was like kind of boring after a while. And then you know, people got tired. The user use went way down, and then eventually Pokemon Go, you know, said, all right, we're going to have to make it so people can trade in-game content. And, you know, that's bottom line is what the users want. We want to be able to have some kind of control over these things in-game because we spend money on that. It's not cheap. Plus attention. Our attention is valued. I mean, at least to me, I value my attention, my time. Oh, thank you. Hey, Data Bunker, thank you for the $5 super chat. Much appreciated. And Biggs, thank you so much, bro, for the $5 super chat. Much appreciated, guys. I really love you. That's love right there. Thank you. But yeah, like, so what are some of the things that you're doing right now with Steam Monsters? Like, is there anything that you're looking forward to? I know it's still in beta. What are some of the features or something that may be being worked on?
Yeah, our biggest thing, which is we're hoping to release in January, is going to be our tournament system. So the whole idea is that you'll be able to, there'll be big prizes at stake on a regular basis that you can win, you know, if you're good at the game and you have cards. And we think that that's going to bring a whole lot of value to the cards, which is really big, because once they can be used to win, you know, serious prizes, you know, that potentially makes them a lot more valuable. That you know, helps people with their investment. You know, like I said, it's an investment. So the idea is we're going to sponsor ourselves a bunch of tournaments, you know, at least a couple $1,000s a week worth of tournaments. But then the idea is that since it's decentralized, anyone can run their own tournament. So there's a whole bunch of different brands and businesses that have reached out to us that are like, yeah, we want to run a tournament and we'll offer prizes just to promote our brand. And
I want to run a tournament.
Sure,
I want to run a tournament.
You put up some prizes, you run a tournament, and you know you can upload a logo, picture, whatever, and it's posted on all the battles.
Yeah, what, dude? Wax stickers. I got my own custom-made tokenized little stickers for wax.io. I could make that like bounties for my tournament, man. That is awesome.
Yeah, and then the other angle of that is you can use the tournaments as a fundraising mechanism. So let's say you have a tournament where there's a $10 entry fee. Right, then half the fees, you know, go to the winners for the prizes, and the other half goes to, you know, raise money for charity
free
or fund the project. Yeah, so whatever you want. So the idea is that there'll be all these uses for running tournaments, and we just hope that tons of different people and organizations will just be running tournaments. So if you're a player, you have a bunch of cards and you're good at the game, you can just go on and enter in tournaments all day long, and you could win some serious cash.
That's a really interesting way to see like the micro marketing aspect of that, because that's already being done. I mean, look at, I was in Vegas and all the casinos have gaming centers now with like gaming PCs for Fortnite, and you can play for like $10 an hour. And you know, that's just marketing, right? Like that's just for marketing. But that's what people are doing now. They're playing games more than they're watching football. You know, they're watching Fortnite. That's just the mainstream thing right now. You know, that's where a lot of the attention is, and that's where the marketing money is going. So it makes a lot of sense that that's an avenue people would go, you know, to try to do something. Like, you know, I could see like even a small coffee shop, or even like our meetup could sponsor a tournament or something.
Yeah,
like
for
that.
Sure.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, Steem Philly tournament. Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely. So that's the point. We could even use it as a way to raise money to have our meetups, you know, whatever. But yeah, so the whole point of that is just all like the more money that's coming into the game, the more valuable sort of our token is, which is the cards. And then it'll hopefully, if that's more valuable, then more people will come in and play it. And that also makes it more valuable because there's more demand. So hopefully it gets a good cycle going.
How many different kind of cards are there right now? I saw there's about 100 or something, right? I was looking at like the collection. I have 78. Oh, I have a bunch of extras. That's right. I have to kind of like burn some extras to kind of level up the cards I have and stuff like that. Or like trade cards that I have extras of with people that have a card that I don't have, if I have a card that they don't have. I've been trying to build up my deck. I'm such a nerd, man. I'm such a nerd. But I was like up last night. I was on a roll, dude. I actually think I won like 5 in a row. I did. I think I had, because I had to do the dark one, so I had to do like
get that win streak going.
Yeah, and I did. I got some free packs for playing and winning, so I got like free cards. It was really cool.
Yeah, so I mean that's the whole thing right there. And you know, there's 78 cards, but then each one has a gold foil version of it, which are like much more rare, you know, scarce assets.
I haven't gotten any of those yet. I'm kind of jelly. I'm about to buy one from the open market. I'm going to make that my first purchase in one of my videos to show people how to buy a card, because it's really easy. I mean, it's just like you said, Steam Connect makes it like 2 clicks. It's like using Amazon almost. You know, you just click
what's harder about it though is you have to use Steam or Steam dollars. So you can't use PayPal or credit card to do that. And that's because that, you know, then we would we have to pay a fee for PayPal, and then we're not the ones getting that money, right? The seller of the card is the one getting that money. So we'd be paying the fees, and then we'd be losing out on that. And then also since it's not on the blockchain, sometimes if you go to buy a card at the same time someone else tries to buy the card, it might not be available anymore. We have to refund you. We can't do that automatically with US dollars and whatnot. So, but yeah, so as long as a lot of people actually have been asking me like if they can just send me money on PayPal to send them Steem to go buy cards on the market, which just highlights the need for a direct fiat to Steem thing.
Is there right now a way to easily get Steem with fiat? I don't know if so. There is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to go through either Bitcoin or Ethereum and use like BitShares or something like that.
Which is, you mean block trades?
Block trades, that's the one. Thank you.
Yeah, which is it's a lot for most people, right? So there's definitely demand there. But yeah, that's.
Do you see any way to build that like on ramp, or is anybody working on that?
I don't know. I would like to. I don't know. Obviously, there's all kinds of legal issues involved, but I definitely want to, because getting more people into Steem is only going to help things.
I agree 100%. I think this is like the best tool for empowering people to not just purchase crypto but earn it, and that's what I really want. Like this year, I really want people to think more about how to ways to earn crypto, not just like buy it. Like even if your regular job, figure out a way to use Bitwage or Uphold to kind of like get a percentage, or even Coinbase now has a really easy way to get like a percentage of your direct deposit into crypto, and you're earning it that way, as much, not so much feeling like you're buying it all the time. It's just part of what you earn from your daily job. You earn a little bit of Bitcoin and some fiat, Well,
Steem Monsters is ideally a way to do that, right? I mean, you have to pay, you can get a promo card for free or just $10 for the starter set, but then if you're good at the game, you can start winning free packs, which have cards that are worth money in crypto, and when the tournaments are out, if you're good, you win tournaments, you'll get crypto.
So yeah, the tournaments would have like a honeypot of crypto, right? It's like winning Steem or Bitcoin or something like that. Not just like right now, what we win are like booster packs that have rare cards and stuff like that in them.
Yeah, so you can sell those for Steem, but it's one more step. So the tournaments, it's going to be kind of an open system where people can do whatever they want. So I think the majority of the tournaments are going to pay out Steem or Steem dollars directly, just because since it's on the Steem blockchain.
I want to pay for pink slips. Let's play for private keys. If I win, I take all your cards. Boy, let's do it.
yeah, you can. I mean, it's kind of up to people to run tournaments however the hell they want. If people want to offer, some physical item and ship it to people, go for it. I mean, obviously, if it's Steem or Steem dollars, then there's no trust involved there. It'll just get paid out automatically. Other things, you'd have to trust the sponsor to actually, ship you the thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's the majority will be in crypto, but you can do whatever you want.
So I like the graphics, and I like how kind of like the feel and look of it is. You can kind of watch how the story plays out when they're battling, and you can sort of fast forward it, but it seems sort of like a Game Boy-esque feel and look to it. How it is there any like integrations coming for the graphics? Do you see any more more story play out when like the battling's occurring and stuff like that? Because it's really interesting to see how like this already is as in beta. I'm just wondering what the vision is like. What's that final product look like in your eye?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely ideally would like to add a lot more graphically towards the playout. So one thing we're going to be working on is a mobile app, iOS and Android next year. We're looking to raise some money to build that. And that'll, right now it's just a simple web app. People play in all different browsers and different machines, so we kind of keep it simple to not overload anything. But once
I played on my Brave browser on my phone, and it runs flawlessly.
Yeah. It's not even made for phone right now, so it's primarily designed for desktop PC. But when we have the app, it'll be a native app for iOS and Android, so we'll be able to do the same level of graphics as any app does, and it should run pretty well. So yeah, we're looking forward to that, definitely.
What's the ETA on something like that? Are you looking at like the beginning of the year, mid-end? I'm just wondering like what's the ETA do you think on like this mobile app? And
it depends on how or if we can get funding for it. I think we're gonna do it regardless, but if we're able to raise money soon, then we'll do it sooner rather than later. The market's
Which
not
operating
helping.
system appeals to you more, iOS or Android, or would you try to nail both down at the
Oh
same
no, we're gonna
time?
do both. Yeah, both
Oh,
at the
cool.
same time. We'll build it in Unity probably, which is, allows us to export it to all different platforms. Um, but yeah, so hopefully if we get some funding, we can do it maybe like Q2 of next year at the earliest.
How are you going to go about the funding process?
I haven't announced this anywhere yet, but
Oh,
you
you
can
don't
get
have to if you don't want to. Oh
uh,
no.
yeah, we're gonna probably do an equity token offering,
Oh
a
wow.
private placement offering, as a Regulation D security. So yeah, I don't think I'm pretty sure we're not allowed to do any like general solicitation of that, so I'm not soliciting anyone here. But yeah, so we're gonna go out and try to get some private investors and offer, basically a token that represents equity in the company.
Shout out to Clove71. He just dropped the link to the Discord. I'll make sure I put that in the description box below. Everybody watching, make sure you go ahead and join the Discord. There's a link in the description box also. A chance to win one of these starter packs. It's worth 10 bucks. And there's also a link that you can buy some of these and play, and just tag me on Twitter. Let me know your username, and if we run into a battle, we can troll each other. Is there any way to start, like, I was hoping there's a way to do like targeted battles, because I saw the battles are randomized. Is there any way
You mean
I
pick
get
your opponent?
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
love
yeah,
to like
yeah.
challenge you. That would be so cool.
Absolutely. It actually, when we first released the fighting, there was a challenge button in there that said coming soon. And it's just one of those things that kept getting pushed off and pushed off as we have to do other things. But it's absolutely 100% something we're going to be putting in.
Yeah, I need a challenge button. I need people to come at me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah. All day you'll have people coming at you.
Yeah, no, that's awesome though, because you could probably, I don't know, it would be interesting to see something like this, even because I could say whatever, a Steam back dollar per match, and if you want to challenge me, that's what we both put up, and whoever wins gets $1. That way it's not wasting any of our time, and we're having a fun time playing games and earning crypto at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So that's 100%. Maybe I'll try to push that up the priority list. But like I said, we're working on this tournament feature, which I think is really big. But
Oh,
then,
tournament sounds sick, man.
yeah,
I'm
then
really
we'll
down.
put in, then we'll do the one-on-one battling.
So, are there any other like things that you wanted to discuss about the Steam Monster stuff? Because I wanted to talk a little bit about like tokenization of in-game content and other things like that. So, I wanted to make sure we kind of touched on everything. We didn't like leave anything out.
Yeah, no, I mean, one thing I'll mention is that I feel like the cards on the market right now are super cheap. So if you are looking to
That's
pick
why I
some
said I
up,
was looking to buy some of them
Yeah.
right now. I was going to make
I
a
mean,
video on the gold ones.
I've been buying some too because, with the bear market, people are just, they want to get some money out there. So they're putting cards up super cheap. But if you look forward a little bit, like once the tournament system's out and once there's like a bunch of prizes, large dollar value prizes available, I mean, it's going to make the cards, it's utility right there. So yeah, that's what I'll say.
How easy is it
not
to send it
financial
to
advice.
another user? I actually never transferred one to just a Steam account. Like somebody who never had one. Like if somebody just posted their Steam account right now, would it be just that easy to send them a card?
Yeah, you just go in your collection, check off the card you want to send and click send and type in their name.
All right, cool,
That's
cool,
it.
cool. All right, so guys, drop your Steam names once this video goes out, and I'll be able to send you some of the cards I have extras of. And yeah, we can start playing because I want more people to get into this. I told somebody was like, "Why are you giving cards away for Christmas or whatever?" I was like, "Because I want more friends to play with me." So this is me buying friends. It's like this is an awesome game, and I mean, the friends I have playing it with me are having a good time doing it. And I think it's a really, like you said, it's an investment. I think it's a really interesting way to have like this a non-fungible portfolio rather than the blockfolio aspect of worrying about the volatility of the US dollar value of this token or coin, and there's no real utility behind it. They're just staring at it because that's the utility, right? Speculation, rather than using something that is a token. It's on a blockchain, it's non-fungible, it's tradable, it's peer-to-peer, but it has a utility. They're not caring about the price, and I think that's a really cool Trojan horse way of kind of having like this, like Pokemon cards back in the day. Imagine if everybody held on to theirs in mint condition. It's college fund money around this time. So I think it's kind of like the same thing. Like I'm just trying to get my friends now into that next collectible wave because like I was saying earlier, how I kind of wanted to segue into it is the tokenization of in-game content is the next wave. It just makes sense that, you know, to have these exchanges and for games to recognize each other's content for the value that they have on the market for, you know, either on the actual platform itself as a game, like, you know, the car in Grand Theft Auto as opposed to a car in Need for Speed. Well, why can't I just trade it on the exchange for the same thing on the other game? Like, if there's a Lambo in both games, you know. So where do you see this headed? Like, what's your, because you've been a gamer for a while, you're a developer, you're really deep into like this blockchain technology. Where do you see like the mainstream's use case for this? Because a lot of people do argue that it doesn't make sense for their business structure to tokenize and to have an open market, because the center market is them, so they can control the value, and they don't sometimes want people to have what we want, to be able to trade these things that we have spent money on, and, you know, it just doesn't want to sit there and collect dust, but they want you to want it to sit there and collect dust. So like, where do you see the mainstream's use case for this? Where does it play out?
Well, I mean, I'm almost certain that gaming is going to be the one of the major ways that blockchain goes mainstream.
100%.
I mean, yeah, because I mean, the other use cases. I mean, just like payment platforms. There's at least in first world countries, like that's not a problem that people have. Like being able to buy your coffee is not a problem that people have that needs solving. So it's like really hard to convince people why they should use cryptocurrencies for these things. But you know, games, like, first of all, there's a huge overlap between the gamer community and the crypto community. Like people who are into games also are into crypto, so they're able to like get over that initial learning curve easier. Like they're more willing to do it because they're kind of into it. They're nerds like us. So
technically
that's
inclined.
Yeah, technically that's better. So that's going to be big. And then there's also like there's a key like use case for it that they get and they like. Like I have friends who are totally not into crypto, don't get anything about it, but they understand like, oh, you know how your Magic cards or your Pokemon cards were worth money and you can sell them, and you know it's sort of like an investment now, and you know how your Hearthstone cards aren't like that. Well, now you can have the best of both worlds. You can have a digital game where you can transfer the stuff anywhere in the world. You can play against anyone instantly, but you also own your cards, and they have value, and they're like an investment, and people get that, and people like that. So, you know, between those things, I really think gaming is going to be the big thing for blockchain. I also,
especially with the micropayments, you know, like right now it's sort of becoming the next economy, right? Like a lot of the youth now are sort of, you know, ambitioning to be these content creators, influencers, you know, Twitch streamers, you know, digital marketing. They just want to work online, and the best way to deal with money moving online is with internet money, and they're starting to come across, you know, these easier ways to move, you know, and earn without having these barriers, you know, like, you know, PayPal freezing accounts, or banks not wanting to deal with this or that, or like I said, Twitch and YouTube stealing 30% of donations and the AdSense revenue that people earn. And this is like, you know, imagine on your way to work every day somebody just took 30%. You know, because that's your job, is to be me like this on YouTube talking to you, and YouTube steals 30%. My boss is taking 30%.
And App Store games for a long time, so I'm well aware of how that works.
So I think that, you know, the need is really there, man. Like there is a solid need for these people that are building this next economy wave. You know, this attention economy wave. It's there because they're getting taken advantage of right now.
And that's where Steem comes in too, right? That's why it's so huge. Like we have people, they go and they stream Steem monsters on DTube or on Vim or some like Steam platform. Then they get upvotes, like the more people that watch them, right? And that gives them Steem, and then they can go buy more Steem monster cards, right? And it's this like whole cycle, or they win Steem and they can.
It's a full circle economy, which a lot of platforms and tokens and blockchains don't really have. It's somewhere they hit a brick wall, and it runs into, it just gets liquidated, right? But I see Steem is a full circle.
Right, and it sucks. Like if, okay, you know, I play a game on EOS and then I stream it on Steem, so I get Steem, and then I got to transfer that to EOS to buy it. It's like a whole, you know, there's like 4 or 5 different things. So yeah, I definitely see Steem like I love Steam's focus on the social media aspect, because again, it's like gets people in. Like, this is what people are already doing. They're already streaming things. They're already used to this, so they can get in and do it on a blockchain. It's like it's similar to what Steam Monsters is doing for gaming. They're doing for social media. Unfortunately, they haven't been doing such a good job of it, and I think there's just so much potential there that needs to be realized. But I hope it will be soon.
Yeah, I'm with you. A lot of people are trolling Dan to come back to Steam and finish what he started, and I feel like once it's there, like even with Ethereum, CryptoKitties kind of broke the blockchain, and the developers got off their ass and came back to work to fix it. I feel like that's really what Steam needs, right? It needs that boost in the developers, morale. Is we need to get more users. Let's break Steam. Let's get more people on it, transacting on it, more people using it, streaming on it, playing Steam Monsters on it. And I think that when it needs to be updated, it will be, right? Like, why fix what ain't broken? I think Steam works pretty damn flawlessly in retrospect.
Yeah. It's really poorly marketed, and a lot of this comes down to marketing. I mean, there's so many cryptos, and people just don't know about Steam. They don't know what the value of it is. So I mean, I kind of also didn't answer, like, why did we pick Steam? So I was just gonna
segue back to that.
The hugest thing there is not the technology or really anything about it. It's just the community that's there, and they all are active and participate. Because it's a social media blockchain. Like, that's what it's for. That's what happens on Steam. So it's like advertising. So there's a group on Steam called Oracle D, and they're going out and trying to push this. Like, this is the real use case of Steam. If let's say you're doing an ICO, or you have any business, you're selling something, you have a marketing budget, right? You go and you spend that budget on ads, usually some places, and you hope you get more money out of that than you spent. But on Steam, instead of spending it, you just buy and power up Steam, right? So you're investing it. You're not spending it. It's not gone. You're investing it in the Steam token, but then you can use that to advertise, right? You use that.
You can promote your posts.
Yeah, you can promote your posts. You incentivize everyone on the Steam community to post about what you're doing. So that's what we did. And we have a relatively large stake in Steam Monsters, and we upvote anyone who posts something about Steam Monsters or promotes us. And meanwhile, that just gets the entire Steam community out posting about us and live streaming and making content and whatever. Like, it's sort of like an advertiser's dream that, like, all these people are just, like, going out and writing about your product all the time. So, and especially with the low Steam price now, like, if I'm any business that's, like, at all wants to target this type of audience,
a crypto centric, crypto aware audience.
Yeah, they're all huge into crypto. You buy a bunch of Steam. That could end up being itself a good investment down the road. I mean, I don't know, but it could. And then you just have that entire community at your fingertips for, like, whatever you need. There is, the cryptocurrency Byteball, which I was not familiar with at all, did that a few months back. They had this huge campaign on Steam, and it was nuts. The whole Steam community just went crazy for it. And it was just such a good use case for how you can take some of your existing marketing budget, invest it in Steam, and just get a huge value out of it. And
and Philip even has the Steam bounties. You could put a bounty out and use Steam to try to fulfill bounties from your imagination out. But if you needed a logo designed or an intro video, or it's kind of like a cool way to use Steam as a sort of, like, I don't know what to say, Craigslist. What would it be, more like Fiverr or something? I don't know. You're kind of putting out a bounty though. Crowdsourcing, yeah, exactly. I really think that was a cool way to use Steam.
I mean, we've done that for, like, most of the stuff in Steam Monsters. First of all, most of the people on our team just came from the Steam community. People came out like, oh, I can print promo cards for you. Great.
Yeah. How did these designs come about?
Yeah. So we have, our main artist and designer was someone just from the Steam community who we found. Who's now working for us, part-time, doing all the designs and art for Steam Monsters. I mean, we have people writing lore and backstories for all the cards,
so cool.
With the people who did the sounds and the music, and, like, pretty much almost, everything in the game came from the Steam community. And so it's just, like, such an amazing resource that, again, just most people just don't know about, right? It's just another coin on this big list, right? people.
Yeah,
But
no,
it
you're
offers
right.
so much more.
Yeah, it's just another red or green candle. You know,
Yeah,
people don't really
exactly.
look at the tech under the hood, and that's unfortunate for them because you know they look at the track history of a project, so red and green candles, instead of the track history of the progress of the technology underlining it. You know, has it updated recently? Has progress being made for traffic? You know, can it handle this? You know, blah blah blah, and you know they don't really care to ask. They just look at the candles, right? You know, the pumps and the dumps.
Yeah, most importantly, like how many actual people are using it, not trading it, not
How many
speculating
people
on it.
actually use Steam? Do you know like how many people are actively on Steam? Because
I don't
I
have a number exactly, but it's tens, it's, many tens of thousands,
it's more
so
than any other that I would
30,
imagine.
yeah, like let's say like 30,000 people are like actively using the token, not just trading it, like not but like using it to buy products or do things, advertise whatever on a daily basis. I mean,
Right.
that's so huge from a crypto community perspective, and it's totally overlooked because they don't have a big marketing team. I mean, so many of these other cryptos, like I don't even know what
Well,
the
it's
hell
not
they
like they can market on Facebook or Twitter about their
yeah, but no, but
existence.
but they can. I mean, you look at things like Tron. I mean, those guys are just like marketing experts, right? A lot of the coins that are up there that aren't like the big ones, Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever.
Neil said
they're-
50K daily actives.
All right,
Whoa.
there you go. That's huge. And it's just unfortunately like there's still, despite the prices being low, it's still a lot of just hype and speculation driven. So the coins that are like up high that you don't like, I don't even know. You probably know what they are, but I don't know what the hell they are. Like I don't know what the
Well,
hell I would ever do with them.
I'm waiting for like some of these mainstream bloggers and vloggers to kind of get more in. Like I said, they lose about 30% from these mainstream avenues, but they're kind of incentivized, you know, because you know they have other ways of making money through promoting products on that, so it makes up for the void. They're not really incentivized. What I mean is to kind of come in and spend time on something new. So I think this is more for people that are just like, how do I start a blog? How do I start the vlog? I would say maybe not so much spend your time now on YouTube where we're at right now, like start on a platform that doesn't have an established community around that topic. If you want to, blog about cars and vlog about, under the hoods of cars while you do transmissions, do that on Steam. And you have a much more of a niche in that community instead of like on YouTube where it's kind of saturated on almost
Yeah.
every subject. And they have like this limit on before you can even earn, dude. Like on Steam, you don't have to have 10,000 followers on Steam to start earning as somebody who wants to, start creating a blog or a vlog. But if you wanted to do it on YouTube, they say you have to have at least 10,000 followers and 100,000 views on your videos, and then you can start earning 70% of net AdSense and your worth there and your super chats. It's not like a really incentivized way to start. But the people that already have aren't really incentivized to go to Steam and start
Yeah.
experimenting now. So I think this is a really cool first mover advantage scenario where like paradigm shift doesn't just mean bank it unbanked. I think it's going to be a huge paradigm shift when something like this goes mainstream. I'm just thinking, do you think it's going to start with potentially some mainstream blogger like somebody big on YouTube that has millions of subscribers that doesn't even talk about crypto at all, kind of finding and stumbling into Steam and starting to understand that if I post my video here, I earn, everything instead of YouTube, blah, 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 or just another avenue to share my content. Because you don't have to just share on Steam. You could have YouTube, Steam, and everything XYZ.
Yeah.
So where do you see like the on-ramp is kind of where I'm getting at. Like what's that snowball look like? Is it mainstream already? Or is it that bottom up where it's just going to start with somebody that just starts to get a following, somebody hopefully like me on Steam or you, and then that becomes the next mainstream, like the next YouTube, how Facebook kind of did that to MySpace. Steam will kind of do it again to Facebook.
Yeah, I think the tools need to be a lot better. Like steamit.com is just not cutting it. Most of the sites on Steam right now are not cutting it. So I think it needs like a really good app that just is so simple for people to come and use it and not understand anything about cryptocurrency, but they can just come on and do their thing, and then, they
Partico
just
is a pretty easy app. I think that's how you say it.
yeah, it is, but it still doesn't it doesn't make it as simple. Like you have to yeah, A, you can't live stream on it or anything, but
We couldn't
like
live
it
stream on
just
Facebook for years,
yeah,
though.
no, I know. I'm just saying like it's got to be just like a simple experience. On Particle, you still have to understand like crypto, and you have this wallet, and what are these
It's
different
true. Do we
coins,
want
and
to oversimplify it though, or do we
I
want it
think
to
you
be
want.
that ubiquitous to the platform where nobody even knows it exists?
Yeah, I don't know. I would like it to be like a slow, like a kind of gradual learning process, I guess. Just where like people can come in and they can do their thing and it's good, and then they can slowly learn like how stuff works under the hood is I think really important. It's going to take a lot to get there, and like I said, I don't know if it's going to come from the users first. Like I was saying. I think there's a huge opportunity for like brands or advertisers to come and buy Steem and use that to incentivize people to post about things. So if there's a lot of money coming into Steem that says, hey, if you post about my product or you do whatever for this, you'll earn money. It just makes earning opportunities for people. So you have people all over the world who are like, I want to do something and earn money. They do it with Steam Monsters right now. So they come on and they stream about Steam Monsters. That's all they do. They play the game, they stream it. We upvote them. It's a small upvote now due to the price, but that still goes a long way some places in the world, right?
Well,
So
you'd rather earn it while it's low than when it
yeah,
was high, in my opinion. But I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just common sense, right? If
yeah,
something's low, I'd like
exactly.
to accumulate more of it then. Because, I mean, obviously, right now, everything. Maybe I'm just like, whatever, but I think everything right now is only in a very artificial like temporary dip in value. Like I said, the increase in the tech has been nothing but phenomenal across the board. I mean, look at Bitcoin and all these projects that have survived this year, and look at their technology, the progress, not just the price. None of the prices make sense. I mean, we've got so much institutional money on the edge of their seat waiting to come into this industry. Coinbase couldn't make an OTC market fast enough. They didn't even wait to announce it. They just like, yeah, we did it. It was like, they didn't even sneak a hint at it or nothing. They just, so I think everything right now is waiting for that big money to move in. And that's why we're seeing so much negativity kind of in this space about how it's going to zero. The same shit they said about, the internet stocks and computer technology stocks. Oh, nobody will have a computer in their house. That's a bubble. Technology's in a bubble. Nobody will invest in that. Sell all your stocks, and then they go up and buy it while it was down and suppressed. Same thing I see happening right now in cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, the prices are, I mean, are not based on anything at all. They just have no meaning, really. Like, it's just totally meaningless. So, I know it's very difficult for a lot of people who have lost money, but that's just the unfortunate way that markets get manipulated and things like that. So, but yeah, I mean, you look at what happened to internet stocks now, they're doing quite well. So I see the same thing.
Well, even CryptoKitties, these collectibles like Steem Monsters, these non-fungibles have been holding up more so than these currencies, right? Like I've seen recently, even in this bear market, a CryptoKitty selling for six figures, multiples. I've seen the most expensive was like $250,000 for a CryptoKitty, and these collectibles are still, these non-fungibles are still, going up in value over time, as I've seen some of these other currencies go down in value over time. So because there's still users, people using it. There's a utility behind this non-fungible. Yeah. It's not just a speculative thing that people stare at.
That's exactly right. I mean, if that's what I mean when the crypto prices have no basis. They're not based on anything because they're not really used for anything. So you can't value something that has no purpose. Really. But if it does have a purpose, then you can value it, right? You can look at like how much do people spend on trading card games online, right? And like if that money starts to come into blockchain-based games, then that means these cards will actually have this amount of value, and then you can trade based on that. It makes an actual use case, an actual reason for them to have value.
I just saw a tweet earlier that said Wax.io is like a $50 billion industry because of the in-game content market for esports. Sure. Holy shit, dude. That is... I don't think people understand how big this esports thing is about to be, but like kind of look at where football was before television, okay? That's where we're at right now with this esports shit. It's about to take off.
I bought a whole bunch of Wax tokens last week because I just... I couldn't not, honestly.
I just
Like,
registered to get my own stickers made on their
yeah,
blockchain because, like, I want some skin in the game, literally, other than holding the token. I would
sure.
love to have a tokenized me, like actual skin in their game, because I think that what Wax is doing is amazing. And coming from where Opskins has come from, they've went through all the hurdles of peer-to-peer in-game content trading, going through third-party escrows and everything, to realize that a lot of this can be replaced by smart contracts and public ledgers and tokenizing these skins. So they're really solving a real problem that they already know about, and it's not vaporware. They're right now, like, like Steem, the Wax.io has active users where you can just, trade these stickers or in-game contents, crypto kitties, all these things. And I think the esports is going to be what takes off on this crypto side of, like I said, I think we're waiting for Ninja to find something like Steam Monsters, where he realized playing these games all these years, it's just locking up all this value in this, friggin' pit. It doesn't go anywhere. I know you're making money as a streamer, that's fine, but imagine all the things that you've accumulated in a game while streaming has been more of like a digital portfolio as well, to hedge against the fiat portfolio or the currency side of that portfolio.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it does go somewhere. It goes to the, the owners of the companies that make those products. That's where it goes. That's the whole point of decentralization, is that, the players are the ones providing all the value, right? So the money should go to them. That's actually, I mean, that's what the use case, that's what Steem is, right? So my wife, as an example, she like goes hiking on some trails sometimes, and she went on some site or app or whatever to rate the trails that she walks on. And that's like, she's spending her time giving value to the company that creates that app, right? For no reason, other than that she, likes doing it or likes to help people out. But the whole point of Steem is to say, wait a minute, she's the one providing the value here. Why doesn't she get the value for that? The creators of the company shouldn't just take all the value that everyone's putting into it. It should be given out to the people who are actually creating the value. And that's just a great concept. And it just needs to be realized better. It needs to be done in the right way. And then everyone would say, yeah, why am I going to post on this Trails app, where they get all the money for my time that I'm investing? I'm going to do it on the Steem app, where if I post a good review that helps people, like, I get the money for that.
Right, and I think that's something like what Yelp, I feel like people have realized over the years how Yelp was so big after so while, and then it kind of died out. Because the people that have put so much effort and time into building it to what it was didn't get anything back. There was no incentivization. There was nothing, nothing but not even an attaboy for what these users have put in to build this conglomerate platform up to what it was. Same thing that's kind of happening right now with Facebook. A lot of people are starting to get a little vindictive and envious of how much Facebook has been making off of their data while not getting anything in return. It feels starting to feel like theft at some point. I feel like we will have a legal stance on your data and the attention and time that you spend providing value to platforms. Without them providing value back, will be considered theft, whether it be intellectual or otherwise. It will be theft, and platforms will eventually have to find a way to monetize the time people spend on their platforms by contributing value to it, because it is theft. And people are waking up to this because, thankfully, the mainstream media, for once, they kind of brought it to light a little bit with how much money they're making off of your personal data. When you can own that yourself, and like you said, putting yourself out there on Steem rather than Facebook, and earning off of contributing to that platform's value.
Yeah, and I wrote a post recently. Like, one big thing I think is missing from Steem is actually advertising. So a lot of people think, oh, like, Steem is decentralized and has a new monetization method, but it doesn't. There's not a new monetization method. The monetization is exactly the same. It's just who gets that money that's different, right? So instead of Facebook or whatever company getting the money, it's the people providing the value getting the money, but the money still comes from the same place, right? Which is advertising. And I think, so on Steem, you know, like Facebook obviously loves everyone who advertises on their site, right? If someone spends a bunch of money advertising on Facebook, that's good for them.
Unless an
So
advertiser that spends more money threatens to leave because
yeah,
yeah, I see what you're
but
saying.
the point is, like, on Steam, the people, the users, you're the shareholders, you're the stakeholders, you're the owners of Steam. So like, I, you would want, like, I would love for companies to advertise on Steam. Like, I would want to see their ads. I would turn off all my ad blockers because I want to be like, yes, spend your money on Steam to advertise here because I'm an owner of that, right? That makes
Yes.
my Steam more valuable. That makes me get more money for my contributions. So it's like a weird thing where the whole internet is based on like people hating ads, and you know, advertisers are trying to get them not to block
Well,
their
because they're
ads.
stealing my attention, and
I
that
know,
is
but
my
see, on Steam,
value.
it turns that on its head, and people don't
Yep.
realize that like the ads are awesome. You know, it's like, yes, if some company, like let's say Trezor, you know, went and they bought
Which
a hundred
I don't
thousand.
understand why they're not, but go ahead. Give them some
Right,
free
so like
advice they should take.
yeah, so like, okay, here's this community of like 50,000 crypto users, right? You buy Steam and you use that to advertise on steemit.com or whatever site, right? And now all these people are like, I would go, I don't need a Trezor, but I would go and buy one just because they're coming in and advertising on Steam helps me. It helps my Steam. It makes my Steam more valuable. Like, I would love every advertiser on there. I mean, people would be like campaigning for everyone to go like turn off their ad blockers and go buy the products for the companies that advertise on Steam because they're
What's
making.
holding them back, you think, then? Like, because they can't advertise on Facebook, they can't advertise on Twitter, they don't allow these things. It's been pretty public that you can't, pay for advertising of Bitcoin or blockchain or crypto, whatever, on these platforms. Why haven't we seen that advertising revenue
I don't think it's
come
on
this
anyone's
way?
radar. Like I said, it's just another like
50,000 daily active users not being marketed to because and a lot of these companies products and platforms go unknown because they're marketing to people that don't even understand crypto to begin with.
yeah, I mean, one thing that's hard is that steemit.com doesn't have an advertising. It doesn't have advertising, and it should, and it really should. So I
Well,
think
it
some of the
incentivizes evangelistic advertising, I think.
yeah, so you can do it, but like, I mean, steemit.com should just like sell ads straight up, like it for Steam, right? You buy Steam, you buy an ad from steemit.com, like shows up on the homepage, like or in your feed. I don't care where it shows up, but like, so it's not like there's no ad sales team going out and selling this, and I think there should be, and I think that's what you need. And then yeah, it's like a no-brainer. Like, if I'm any crypto related product, I would advertise on Steam. And you don't even have to actually spend money on it. You can just
I
buy a bunch of Steam
know.
and hold it, right? You can, let's say they put, I'm sure they have a huge advertising budget, right? Spend a couple hundred K, you could buy of your advertising budget, which you already have, you could buy like 1 million Steam power with that. You're not spending that money, you're investing it in Steam power. So you didn't even spend it. You were planning to spend it on advertising, but you have it, and it could be a good investment in itself. And then you can target this community. I mean, if you have 1 million Steam power in your account and you say go post about how awesome Trezor is, and we'll upvote you, you will get every single person on the Steam platform going crazy about your product.
Absolutely.
Like, and you didn't spend any money on it. Like, it's such.
Well, not even just companies. I feel like the individuals too. We have a lot of these, YouTubers that are, crypto influencers that don't even, spread their content into these avenues. Like, I try to spread my content onto as many different platforms as possible that are supporting blockchain technology, Steem, DLive, BitTube, all these different avenues that are kind of, competing with, YouTube in that, content way. And I just don't see as many of these mainstream people. Even I don't even think Andreas Antonopoulos is using Steam it right now, is he? I feel like everyone's
I don't
been
think so.
been bugging on the start one. It doesn't make sense. I wonder, is it kind of because of the controversial aspect of it being a cryptocurrency and an investment blockchain project, something like that, where it maybe disincentivizes some from utilizing it, seeming like they may be supporting it as an investment vehicle or something. I don't know, but it just doesn't make sense that there's not just companies, but even individuals like Andreas that haven't yet like found this 50,000 daily active user platform worth their while. It's what do you think's keeping these companies and individuals, not just knowing, because we have people out there evangelistically promoting it, saying, hey, come post on here, promote on here. What do you think still may be holding them back, even if they are aware?
Yeah, I don't know in the case of Andreas or something, but I feel like companies, um, it's just not on their radar. I mean, I feel like they're probably getting, pinged at all angles about different crypto projects and different things, and Steam
That's
isn't
true.
doing that. And Steam is just always like, yeah, well, ours is better and it's good and it's gonna like live on its own, merits, and everyone's just gonna find out and come. But we're just losing out to the crappier projects that just go out and like market to these
Yeah, that
people.
had the ICO money. You're right. It's they're being drowned out by the ICO marketing guys. It sucks that they don't have, like you said, that marketing team. But it's also, I think, good on its own because it has that authenticity in the community where we
Yeah,
don't have that toxicity that marketing money does bring in. When you do get a lot of marketing money out there, you start to really bring in the wrong people sometimes that are just there for the wrong reasons, that capitalize as bad actors. And I feel like Steam has been doing a great job in its own sense of the community, not just inviting people like minded, but more so like kind of downvoting and weaning out the bad actors and keeping it as a clean of a community as it is, as opposed to something a Reddit or whatever, where it becomes like, I know people say Steam has a problem with the whales and blah blah blah, but I feel like it's a lot less of a problem than what we see on the platforms like Reddit or even on Twitter or Facebook, where you can get completely shut down, by the platform, not just by the peers using it. And I feel like, people want to complain about censorship, but I feel like in a decentralized means of censorship, like on Steam, if you're talking about something people don't like, it's like smoking a cigarette in a room. 99% of the people aren't smoking cigarettes in that room. They're going to come together and get you out of the room. You can keep smoking, just do that shit over there, not in our environment. And that is consensus, and that's what I think is really powerful about Steam. And people should really start to learn more about those, they're just a way to combat the soapbox of the enemy that they're right now. All these YouTubers that made cannabis videos, they're gone.
yeah,
They got
yeah.
shut down and all their videos were deleted. They didn't even have them backed up. So they just lost everything for years of content. And they could have been putting this on the blockchain. And even if they got voted down, it's still there. It's just not visible on that UI, but you can get to your data. And I think people really need to start backing up their stuff on these decentralized platforms.
Yeah, so I mean, like you, it's just Steam is really awesome, and it has this really great use case, and it has this great value and great community, and it's frustrating because it's not being promoted, it's not out there, it's not on anyone's radar, um, and I hope that like just something happens. I feel like it might even only take like one company, like one Trezor, one something to like run this type of campaign, and then when when they see how successful it is and other people see how successful it is, hopefully there'll be a pile-on effect.
Yep.
So I wrote a post about it recently, and like I'm too busy with my Steam Monsters thing to do any of this, but I'm trying to push some of the other like front ends to try to do this. Go out and get that first advertiser and just start that rolling.
Well, guys, if you are watching this, that's up to you, the viewer. You are the militia in the revolution right now. So a lot of this falls on the shoulders of the people that feel like they can carry it. And if you think that you can go out and find somebody and you're watching this, I encourage you to just ask, panhandle, and educate these companies, because it is important to exercise the community building of this. Like Matt said, there's no marketing team. It's us, the evangelists, the
Yeah.
believers, and it's up to us to go out there and show them these avenues exist. Stop telling them, stop giving your money to the non-believers that are Google, and you can invest in the community that is already believing in you. And I don't know, man, I just wanted to get, I guess my last question is kind of like an elevator pitch style thing. What's your elevator pitch for either Steam or Steam Monsters? Like, you're wearing your shirt, you hop in your Uber, and the Uber driver's like, what's Steam or Steam Monsters? What is that?
Yeah, they're two kind of pretty different things.
Pick one.
So yeah, all right. I mean, so Steam Monsters is like if you're a gamer, if you play any type of game, right, online, you spend money on it. They're free to play, right? But you always spend money on it. You never get any of that money back. It's not an investment. When you're done playing that
Fortnite.
game, it's all lost. Yeah, exactly. So here the idea is that everything you buy is yours. You own it. It's a digital asset. You can trade it, you can sell it, and you can also use it to play the game. So it's like whenever you spend money, it's like you're making an investment, and you can also do something fun with it. That's my elevator pitch.
Dude, that nailed it. Actually, I feel like that's a real. I'm gonna have to memorize something like that, man. That was a good one, dude. All right, guys. So look in the description box below. There is a link for a chance to win. Now, 10 people will win a $10 value starter pack. So click on the link below. Enter for your chance to win a $10 value Steam Monster starter pack so we can all start playing together. Comment your Steam your Steam account at name, comment that below in the comment section. I'll drop you a card or a starter pack and we'll get you guys enrolled. Let me know if you're already playing, and you know, let's do this, guys. Check it out. We got Matt, co-founder of Steem Monsters. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on. I know you got a meetup. I'm actually on my way to Philly to come meet up with you at the meetup, so thank you for taking the time to come on the podcast today at such short notice.
Yeah, no problem. Absolutely. And like you said, I'll see you in an hour or so.
All right, guys, pound the thumbs up button, click subscribe, flick the alert bell, and have a day. Shout out to Satoshi's Ball by JustLearnCrypto.com in Ottawa, December 15th. Monarch Token of Monarch Wallet, StrokenTokens.com, Bitcoin Energy, and Bitbacker.io. Shout out to Satoshi's Ball by